All right, welcome back, everybody, for another lesson of virtual warfare, a text-based role-play fighting tutorial. I don't know if I should add tutorial or not. I don't know. Still working on these things, but today's lesson is we're going to be talking about basic combat, which is part two. In the last one, I did part one, which was on attacking. Now, this one would be about defending, part two, whatever. So let's just dive right in without further ado. I actually do these videos. I do these videos once. Actually, I don't do these videos. I actually rehearse them once to see, what material is. So I don't seem too stupid, but I forgot to mention that. But let's just go right in and get serious. Okay, first you're going to see what basic defending is, because this is basic defending. So let's give it a general idea of what it is. Okay, now after you've completely understood the commands of basic attacking, in the next section you will learn the 5 commands of defending. So instead of focusing on injuring a life, you will be protecting your own. Okay, sounds good. There are 2 types of defending. One is carried out like an attack, where you would state the unit's vector or direction type to advance toward the target to create an effect, but instead of to injure, it would be to block, to validate it virtually as defending. So pretty much, the first form or first way of defending is carried out just like a regular attack. You would instead of stating things for an attack, you would state things for defense. So instead of attacking to hurt people, you would attack to block, and instead of attacking the person directly, you would attack like the sword, or you would like attack the hand if you're like into like martial arts or whatever. So that's pretty much what the first way is. And the second one is, let's see what the second one. The second type of defending is represented as what I call, and this is what I call it. I just make this up because I don't have no way putting it. Is what I call is Ploce Block, where the unit isn't used for momentum, like put into motion, like we just talked about, like the first way, but rather resistance and holding the unit in position to stop and block. So I'm like holding my sword up to block it. That's exactly what the second way defending is about. Just like the commands of attacking, the commands of defending must be understood in a step-by-step process. So yeah, I hope I'll explain that later. So let's see what the 5 commands of basic defending are really about. I'm trying to calm myself down because this is actual video, but I'm just trying to make it fun and make it educational too at the same time. So just bear with me, please. So the first one is noticing. So just like the first law of attacking, where you have to approach the person, the first law of defending is pretty much the same. Where you have to notice the person or notice the attack before you can even begin to attack. Notice the, what I'm saying. Anyway, let's move on. Even though both forms of defender are different, they still share the relativity of the first command for basic defending. So for both types of defending, you have to notice the attack, pretty much. Just like you can't attack without approaching, you can't defend yourself without first noticing attack. If the statement of noticing is not applied before issuing intended block, it would make the attempt invalid for virtually not seeing the attack first to create a legitimate defense. So pretty much, it's saying it right there. You have to notice the attack before you begin to create a defense for it. So the example right here, notice the attack. It could be anything. It could be noticing the attack. It could be noticing the opponent's sword, the opponent's movement. It could be anything. But you have to state that you notice something first before you get to you carry out the action. So that's pretty much it. Let's move on to the second one. The second one is a unit. It's just like the command for attacking. It's the same thing. You have to state what you're using to defend with. This command of basic defense is exactly the same as the one for attacking, which is stated in unit to show what's being used to block, making the further commands valid. So it pretty much speaks for itself. You have to state what you're using to block with. Example right here, with his weapon in hand. Just state what you're using to block with, and everything's okay. It's pretty simple. Let's move on with that. Number 3, position and angle. Now, this is a little tricky because I'm going to explain right now. It's a little tricky because this involves the first way. The first type of blocking and the second type of blocking. The first type of blocking is carried out just like you would do an attack. So if I'm punching at you, I would say I'm punching towards whatever. So just as the third command of basic attacking is stated the unit's direction type, it is the same for basic defending, but only for the first form of defending. So if you swinging a sword at me, I would say that my sword is going towards your sword. I would give a direction of which way my sword is traveling towards your sword, because that's the way to block. But the second form is different. So the second form of blocking for basic defending or place block deals with stating the unit's position's angle, or the position of where your unit is and the angle that it's in, whatever. So the example right here, the example in white is the one for the first type of defending. An example in blue is the example for the second form. So it says right here for the first form, it says he rolls it up above his head, obviously, his sword, whatever. So it's given the movement of the sword for the first one. But the second one says bracing it in a horizontal angle. So it's given the angle in which where the sword is being placed there. So you have a visual of how the sword is being placed. So, so if someone is attacking you vertically, you can say that you hold the sword horizontally and block the sword like that, so people can know how you're blocking, whatever. So that's pretty much it. Let's move on to the fourth one. Fourth one is the endangered target. Now this is it's pretty much the same. For the first type of defendant, you would say that you are acting towards the opponent's attack. You were acting toward, you were moving toward. So let's just read it so I have to explain. So this command for the first form of basic defending is the same as attacking, say the unit's target. Okay, so if the sword is coming at me and I want to hit the sword, I would say that the sword is my target. Pretty simple. But excuse me, as for place blocking, the second form of basic defending, the graphics of the target will be stated upon yourself as the endangered target. So you would be stating the target that's about to be attacked as your way of describing where everything is being located at. So if my opponent says that I slash down at your head or whatever, I would say that instead of saying that I slash back at your sword, I would use a second type of defending and say I raise my sword up to to lay it at a horizontal angle, and I would say to block it over my head. Since the target is my head, I would say that I'm blocking it. So yeah, pretty much the example says right here, at the end of his opponent's trajectory, his head being a target. So his head being a target, which is the endangered target, and I'm raising my sword up to defend against it. It's pretty simple. I'm just trying to dissect it so we can understand it, like I said, pass it on. But it's pretty simple. All I gotta do is read it, understand, try it once or two times, and keep doing that. So let's move on though. The fifth one is the reason and effect. It's just like the command for attacking. It's the same thing. You have to state why you're presenting these actions, or otherwise people won't know what you're doing. So let's read what it says. So this command for basic defending bears the same principle as basic attacking. This principle is used for the first and second form of basic defending or place blocking, which states the reason and effect. So pretty much after I've done all these things, I would say to block. I'm doing all these things to block my opponent's swing, or to block my head, or I'm just giving a reason why I'm blocking it. And let's see what this image says right here: attempting to resist and block the attack safely. Period. It's plain and simple. This is right here. This whole sentence that's in black with the white is a basic form of blocking. That's all you need to do. You don't need to add extra detail, extra. You don't need to add anything extra, but follow this type of example, this basic example. You'll be fine. You don't have to be like everybody else and try to have the best defense, or just as long as it's enough. It's enough. As long as it's enough, you're good. Let's see what the footnote says. As explained before, since you are now defending, the reason would not be to cause damage, but to issue a block. Just as before, not stating the last command could cause the entire action to be weak and virtually ineffective. So remember not to forget to state it. So that's pretty much it. it's just like basic attacking, but it just has a little twist because it's defending, you know, and it has a second way of defending because, you know, that's how you are. I don't know, just how you defend yourself. I don't know what can I say, you know. I'm just writing these things out so I can help people. I don't know, I'm just helping. But let me stop playing around. I gotta take these videos more seriously because they're supposed to be informative, also fun, but you know, I want them to be professional, and I want people to see that I'm very serious about this type of stuff. Coming soon is I think I'm going to chill out with a few videos on teaching combat because it's very extensive. It's a lot of work to do, and I want people to make sure they understand the basic side first. And I want to put all these videos out and people just, you know, go all around different videos and really not learning stuff. That's why it's lesson 1, 2, 3, and 4, because I'm trying to, you know, build the way up so, you know, gradually can learn, you know, in that way, because that's how I learn. You know, I might actually make a video about, you know, how I learn role play or role play fighting, whatever, you know, which is pretty good. Coming soon, battle data would be an introduction of what battle data is. It would be to tell the difference between what words can help and what words can't, and ways to strengthen your role play fighting words. And also, I would be might be in a spar and get some commentary and a first-hand experience in spars with us, so people can know the principalities. I'm tripping. The technicalities and principles of the spars or whatever, and the do's and do nots of spars and fighting, whatever. And that's pretty much it. Ask some special requests if anybody have some things that I should talk about, or how I should you know, present these videos, or, you know, just anything that's on your mind, any opinions that you think that could just make the world better through these videos or whatever. You know, I'm happy to hear from them, or whatever, or happy to hear about them. You can comment them in YouTube, or you can hit me up however you know how to hit me up, through Kick or AirG or whatever it is. You know, just hit me up and we can talk. You know, just try to make these videos so people can have something to learn, an easy way to learn. So yeah, that's pretty much the video. End of the slide. Thanks for watching. I want to give a shout out to people. I will actually do it on the slide, you know. So if you want a shout out, just let me know. I'll put your name on the slide or whatever, you know. Might say something good about it. And, you know, that's it. So pretty much that's it. So yeah, I did it finally. Yes. I will see everybody next time. Deuces.